What's up, bitch? Can you believe it? Another freaking fight night? Must be my lucky day. What's up, you sexy mother lovers? I don't know. Did somebody already take that or some shit? I don't really know how to do an intro. I just say whatever. Like, at one point I'll just say, what's up, fuckers? But I'm on UB2B, so I don't want to be too crass, especially that early in the show. But, hey, I gotta bring this shit to you motherfuckers, because that's what I do, It's very late at night. Right now, it is 1:13 in the morning. It is 85 degrees outside. For some reason, the mixture of the swamp air, high humidity heat with the nasal congestion makes my voice sound very manly for some reason. So, if I sound more manlier, it's not because I've taken any test. It is because of the imperfections of my nasal construction. So, anyways, besides that, let's fucking get into this bitch. You know what I mean? Because this fight card coming up is not that bad. It's decent. I believe this is an Apex card, right? Which, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I don't mind Apex cards. I really don't. I really, really don't. It gives a chance for young and up-and-coming fighters to fight on the card and still get the recognition and all that shit without maybe the UFC having to not have so many events because they want to stack the card with enough talent so people would come out, or I'm guessing, right? So if they just do it in the Apex with these like unknown fighters, they're able to do that without, I don't know. What am I, Dana White again? Jesus, this guy, I don't get it sometimes. Alright, so we'll just get into this. So we got Alexander Romanov versus Ivanov. I wish the commentators would just do that one time. Just do it one time. Just hit him with the That's just a funny ass fucking name. It's a funny name, but it's a really an unfunny guy to be saying that to, because he would just squash you with his fucking bare hands. Have you seen his head? Okay, if you have a head like that, just don't fuck with him. All right. He got stabbed in the chest and he's not dead. You understand? You don't fuck with that type of guy. But god damn it, is Blagoy is not. That's a funny ass name. Okay. Blagoy. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. But anyway, so let's so Blagoy Ivanov versus Romanov. Here's what's up. Blagoy, for some reason, he's just a decision machine. He doesn't get knocked out. He doesn't knock people out. He just goes to the cards. He either loses the decision or he wins the decision. It's either or with this guy. It's not, I hate to say it, but he's just not that entertaining. He's really not. I think he has a hilarious name. He has a cool-ass fucking story. I think he looks badass. Like, he could definitely play like a, like one of those bad guys in a James Bond movie type shit. But, everything else is kind of lacking, B. And then Romanov had a lot of high hopes, right? He really did. People were like, oh shit, yo, this guy, he's fucking, oh my god, fucking slap your grandmama, bite my uncle in the knee. What was that fucking Vine? Anyways, that was very cringe. Now, so, everybody was hyping this guy up to be the next hot shit. And then, what do you know? He takes a shit in the octagon. Quite literally. My boy Volkov made easy work of him. And really, he had another fight with, was it like Juan Espinzo, something like that? Juan Espino, something like that. Where Juan was winning that fight, and next thing you know, he had like a groin shot or whatever, which happens a lot. And Romanov was sitting there like he got shot in the freaking nuts or something, right? Like he just couldn't move, and oh my God. But really, a lot of people saw that as a cop-out because he was dead tired. He was gassed. So the guy sort of has a gassing problem, right? Not the gas, but the like gas, okay? For the people that are, in layman's terms. So, really looking at this fight, I don't really expect much. Here's the thing, Blagoy is like, he's not bad enough to get finished, but he's not good enough to get finishes. You get what I'm saying? So, really, I just see this fight going to a decision like all of Blagoy's fights always does. And I think Blagoy's going to get the decision because he has a pretty decent gas tank. Good combinations, knows how to, throw some hands here and there, and, this can be whatever. So, hey, watch this be like the fucking fight of the century, right? And I'm over here shitting on it. Hey, it happens. So yeah, I got Blagoy by decision. Holy shit! I gotta drink water for this one. When I saw this guy was back, I was like, yo, no way. I was like, no fucking way. Kevin Lee is back? What? He's back? Holy shit. And he's fighting Rinat Fakhretdinov. So yeah, this fight's pretty interesting. And Kevin Lee, man, it's crazy to see him back. But here's the thing, he had such a meteoric rise in lightweight. I remember watching him when he choked out Chiesa. I remember when he fought Francisco Trinaldo in Brazil, and that was a really tough fight, but he gutted it out. But his real claim to fame was that Chiesa fight. There was a main event, and he choked Chiesa out, but he really didn't, or I don't know, Yamasaki messed up, but Chiesa was going to go out anyway, so whatever. So then that happened, and then he fought Ferguson, and then they had a really crazy-ass fight, and then that crazy thing happened in Vegas right before their fight, which was nuts. Then, then he's been kind of up and down. He fought Barboza. He won against Barboza. Then he lost against RDA, and then he lost against Charles Du Bronx Oliveira. Then he lost to a short notice Daniel Rodriguez. Like, D-Rod beat the shit out of him. Oh, it was a brutal fight. Just beat the dog piss out of him. And he came on short notice too, like a week or something, like something embarrassing for you to have a full camp of gas. Like, he gassed and he got the shit beat out of him, Kevin Lee. Right? Then he gets cut or whatever, and then he goes to Khabib's organization and he fights a washed Diego Sanchez, who Diego Sanchez, all respect in the world for that man. He's season 1 Ultimate Fighter fucking OG. He's a fucking gangster. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's a fucking animal. He's been high-level fighter for basically his whole life, pretty much. Diego Sanchez is nasty, but he's washed at this point, especially when he fought Kevin Lee in Khabib's organization. And really, that fight was put together for Kevin Lee to absolutely destroy Diego Sanchez. That was the whole point, was to make him look good. Like, hey, look at this guy. He's fucking our new signee. We signed him for so much money, right? Wrong. Wrong. Apparently, either Diego Sanchez really did find the fountain of youth, or Kevin Lee fucking blows dick. And I'm sorry. I like Kevin Lee. I think he's funny as fuck. I think he's a cool dude. He's funny. He's this and that. Charismatic. You know, he's very skillful. You saw what he did to Gregor Gillespie? That's like one of the most craziest knockouts of all time, right? But he's just so inconsistent, this guy. Like, what the fuck? You know? So, he fights Diego Sanchez, and I swear to God, if he wasn't able to wrestle, Diego Sanchez would have won that fight. Diego Sanchez was kicking his legs from underneath him, throwing good combinations. A washed Diego Sanchez. Like, a washed Diego Sanchez looked like a world beater against Kevin Lee. And Kevin Lee barely won that fight. Like, it was honestly, like, embarrassing. Because he was supposed to demolish Diego in the first round. And that didn't happen, right? So then he wins that fight. Hasn't fought in forever since, I don't think, you know. And now he signed back with the UFC. Fighting Renat Fakhretdinov. Fucky you. Which, Renat, I see why they matched him up with Kevin Lee, was because this guy, Renat, is a decision machine. His last 2 wins in the UFC were by decision. Very boring decisions. And, you know, we'll see. He's fighting against a wrestler, not a knockout artist. So, my prediction is, I just don't think Kevin Lee has it anymore. Even though, as much as I like Kevin Lee, I think he's really funny. He's a funny dude, you know. He's very entertaining, right? Talks a big game. He just doesn't have it. If you're going to let a washed Diego Sanchez almost beat you, like that, I don't know. I just can't. I really can't fathom that. Right. I just can't. But we'll see. You never know with Kevin Lee. You never know which Kevin shows up. So I'm interested to see, but if I had to put my money on it, I'd probably put it on Baldy. Or not. By decision. So then we got Bruno the Hulk Ferreira versus Nursultan Dr. This is my neighbor, Nursultan Dr. He is major pain in my assholes. I get clock radio, he gets clock radio. Oh, no, it was, I get a window from a glass, he gets a window from a glass. I get clock radio, he can't afford. Who doesn't love Borat? So yeah, Nursultan, that's, anytime I hear Nursultan, that's what I just think of right away. So yeah, Bruno Ferreira, that's how you say it, right? Ferreira? Holy crap. When he knocked out RoboCop, I was like, I was straight up Home Alone type shit. I was like, I couldn't fucking believe it. He was short notice. Nobody gave him a chance, right? And RoboCop fucking was RoboCop fucking. It's so funny because Rashad Evans called him Barack Obama, which you could totally see. But I just call him RoboCop. RoboCop needed a fight. He was like, oh yeah, you know, these guys last minute, thank God I'm going to destroy him in 2 seconds. Wrong. He got knocked the fuck out by the Hulk man, Bruno Ferreira. So that was crazy. Remarkable to see. And really cool to see him get a short notice opportunity and to win like that, which is insane, right? Gregory Rodriguez, that's his name, yeah, RoboCop. So, Nursultan, I don't know who this guy is, but he's got a funny first name, which makes me remind me of Borat. So, I'm just going to go with Bruno by knockout. So, we'll see how that goes. Hey, now this fight is fucking sick. Alright, we got Ishmael Bonfim versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis, oui, yeah, Benoit Saint-Denis. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Le quack. Remember Courage the Cowardly Dog? Le quack. And he was like trying to pose like a doctor, and he had the big ass hammer and shit, hypnotizing them and shit. Courage the Cowardly Dog is one of the goats. Like, you know, real quick, they just don't make fucking cartoons like they used to anymore, man. I'm sorry. They just don't. Am I obviously 26 years old and way past my prime to be talking about fucking childish cartoons that I used to watch back when I was a kid? Yes. Do I sound like a boomer when I say they don't make them like they used to anymore? Yes. But is it true? Yes. You know why? Because I fucking watch them now. I watch some of these cartoons now, right? Because I have a little baby now, right? And I watch these cartoons with her. Fucking ass. It's not funny. It's not original. It's just lame. Like, the only newer cartoon that I can think of that's, like, somewhat funny is, like, Regular Show. Adventure Time is, like, decent. The Amazing World of Gumball, is that what it's called, or some shit? They got, like, Uncle Grandpa. You know, there's like some modern cartoons that are funny. Rick and Morty was really fun, like funny, but it's more like Adult Swim-ish, not really cartoon. So, you know, it's just not the same, man. It's just not the same. It's not the same. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, Edd and Eddie, Dexter's Laboratory, fucking Cow and Chicken. You got fucking Jimmy Neutron. You got SpongeBob, for crying out loud. SpongeBob, the greatest of all time, is SpongeBob. It doesn't even come close, right? Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack. I could go on and on. What, are you kidding me? You're gonna put these cartoons compared to them? Forget about it. Adam. What's the guy's name? Adam Forget about it. So yeah, had to go on that little rant. Hopefully things change. But anyways, Bonfim versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Ishmael Bonfim, right? Saw him in the Contender Series. He's part of the Bonfim brothers, right? This dude's nasty, Ishmael. He's gross. Like, he is for the real deal. Knockout power, super skilled. And when he knocked out Terrence McKinney, holy guacamole. But you know what was cool after that fight? They started dancing at the beach and partying and shit and turning up. God bless. That's what it's all about. You know, we duke it out as men. May the better man win. And, you know, after that, let's fucking party. So, can't hate on that. But I can admire it. Because I can admire his tenacity and his knockout power is just insane. Then you got Benoit Saint-Denis, which I remember his fight against Eliseo Zaleski dos Santos, right? And this was at welterweight, and it was a short notice, I think, right? Was this in the, like, I forgot, like, was this a Paris card, or was it like a, no, it wasn't a Paris card, it was like a Abu Dhabi card or something. Yeah, it was like an Abu Dhabi card. He was in short notice. He fought Eliseo Zaleski dos Santos, who was, like, super underrated, by the way. You know, he's been in top 15 forever, but so he fights him short notice, and Dos Santos is just beating the shit out of him, like, bad. He's beating Benoit Saint-Denis so bad. I'm like screaming with my friend, the Weezord, screaming at the TV, stop the fucking fight, right? And I'm like the last person to yell that shit, right? Because I feel like they train so hard for this one moment, just let them go out on their shield, but this fucker just won't go down. This Benoit Saint-Denis. He just won't go down. Right? It's like one of those roaches, you keep stepping on him, and he just won't fucking die. He somehow just keeps scrambling out of the way or some shit. Right? Fucking crazy. So, he's obviously got a crazy fucking chin. Right? He was a weight class above his normal weight class, and getting the shit beat out of him. And he made it the distance, which was crazy. I'm telling you, go watch that fight. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Ishmael. Not Ishmael. Eliseo Zaleski dos Santos versus Benoit Saint-Denis. You'll see what I'm talking about. But then he actually got another fight in his weight class, full training camp, and you can tell that this guy, he's a very good grappler. You can tell that. He's got grit, he's got heart, and he's a very decent grappler, very great grappler. Knows how to clinch well. His striking is somewhat decent, right? But I have to say, I don't like this matchup against Ishmael for him. I think this Benoit Saint-Denis guy is pretty cool. Tough as hell. He's like the special forces for France or some type of shit. But Ishmael, this guy's like on a different level, bro. Like, this dude's nasty. Like, I don't know, right? If I was his manager, like, hey, you're fighting Ishmael, I'd be like, no! So, I feel like Ishmael's going to knock him out. I think this guy, this Ishmael Bonfim guy, he's the real deal. That Terrence McKinney fight really sealed the deal for me because Terrence McKinney's no slouch. He's nasty too. So, yeah, I got Ishmael by knockout. Hate to say it. Then we got Max Griffin versus Michael Morales. And really, this is like classic old guard versus new guard. Right? Make sure. Old guard versus new guard, right? Max Griffin, 37 years old. Michael Morales, he's in his 20s still. And, Michael Morales is on a really hot streak. Max Griffin, kind of a little rocky lately. But he's been on a win streak also, besides his, loss against... I'm trying to remember who he lost against last. Man, I can't remember. I'll probably remember later, but yeah, he so he's been on the winning streak too, but I think he lost one recently. He's 4 of his last 5, I believe. And really, I feel like Max Griffin, as of late, the last couple years, he's really been coming onto his own and knocking people out and believing in his hands. He's got that confidence about him. He's got that swagger. I remember when he upset Mike Perry, when Mike Perry was the shit. He was hot shit. Nope, everybody was like, whoa, my God, right? And then he beat the brakes out of Mike Perry. And I actually watched that fight here. It was in Florida when that happened. It was nuts. Right? So Max Griffin definitely has all the tools. He's a vet. And then Michael Morales, on the other hand, I just kind of feel like, because he beat Trevin Giles, right? And I just tell that he's a fast starter and a quick finisher, right? And that's what he likes to do in a lot of his fights, Michael Morales, extremely athletic and super fast and all that, But let's see, I'm excited. I'm curious to see, will Max Griffin drag him into deep waters, clinch him up a little bit, wrestle with him, make it dirty, throw some elbows, throw some knees, get some body shots in, So we'll see. We shall see. If I had to pick, though, I would say... You know what? I'm going to say Max Griffin. I think he's a vet. I think he's going to pull some tricks out of his bag and mix it up a few times and really throw Morales out of his element. And I think he's going to get Max Griffin by 3rd round knockout. Ground and pound. He's going to get gassed. I feel like Michael's going to get gassed and night. But, I don't know. We'll see, right? Just my prediction. Then we got the co-main, which is a bit of a sleeper if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If you don't know, now you know. Hashtag Dana. He doesn't talk like an Italian mobster either. I don't know, fucking around. We got Damir Ismagulov voices Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson, boy. So, Grant Dawson is extremely well versed in jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is nasty. Taking the back is nasty. Damir Ismagulov, on the other hand, extremely high-level wrestling, extremely well-versed in the grappling department. They're both, I can see why they made this matchup because they're both very well-rounded guys, but they're really, really talented grapplers, right? Both of them are. And I'm excited to see these grappling exchanges. You know how they usually say you put 2 grapplers against each other, it becomes a striking match? I don't think that's going to happen here. I think these two are going to go at it on the ground. I really do. And the only problem with Grant Dawson is that he kind of slows down a little bit, when it gets later on in the fight. I've seen that before from him, and whew, excuse me. Damir Ismagulov, on the other hand, doesn't really slow down. He's just a tank. He's an animal. And the way I see this fight going down, I just feel like out of the two whose grappling is better, I would say Grant Dawson's like jiu-jitsu is better, but I would say Damir's wrestling's a bit better, you know. But if I had to pick one, I'll go with Grant Dawson. I think Grant Dawson's going to get it done because he's got something going on with ATT, right? I was about to say AT&T. He's got something going on down there. He's got a great team. And you can just tell, like, every fight he's in, he always gets better and better. So I like to see what he's got. Right? He's super young. Damir also is, super young too in his prime. So we'll see. This is a really banger of a fight. Like, you can't really just be like, oh yeah, he's gonna win for sure. They both. I mean, this is a really, really competitive fight. So I'm excited to see that one. I think Grant Dawson gets it done. I think they get it done maybe first round knockout, like a quick one. That's just my gut. Then we got the main event. All right. So here's what's up. Like I said in the previous video, I don't get why Strickland is fighting this guy who's only got one win in the UFC, right? I understand this Abus guy. He's got a lot of hype. He's from Germany, sort of, kind of, because his last name is Magomedov, but represents Germany. I don't fucking know. And then we, so he got one fight in the UFC, which when he knocked out Dustin Stolfutz. I remember that fight. Right, I remember when he fought Stolfutz, right? And knocked him out in the first round or whatever, super quick. That's it. Just one, and then you get main event? What the hell is this? So, I don't know who's this guy's manager sucking to be getting this main event fight with Strickland, but alright. And Strickland, on the other hand, who doesn't love Sean Strickland? He's just so fucking funny. He's off the cuff. He doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks, what anybody says. He says what's on his mind, and you gotta love it for it. He just doesn't give a fuck. Like, how do you not appreciate somebody who just doesn't give a fuck? Like, he just doesn't. And he's funny, right? Funny like in an annoying kind of way, but he's funny, right? And Strickland, really, his style just boils down to the 1-2, the jab, jab 2, jab, jab 2, jab, jab 2, jab, jab 2, jab, jab. iCarly block, iCarly block, iCarly block, iCarly block. He does this weird thing with his. He does this weird thing with his hand where he goes like this and this at the same time, and he doesn't get hit at all. I don't know what type of weird fucking juju magic type shit that he's on, but for some reason he be doing this type of thing, right? The fucking, and he just deflects all punches, right? He knows how to just get out of range, and that's the thing. Like, in all of his fights, especially the ones that he wins, he just knows how to. He just knows how to make people fight his fight. Pretty sure Dean Thomas said this, I believe. Like, he knows how to make people fight his type of fight. Like, hey, we're going to be boxing at this range at all times, and you're going to be following my tempo of the fight. You're not going to speed things up on me. You're not trying to bum rush me, nothing. Right? And that's how he wins a lot of his fights. Is just he knows how to control the entire fight, right? Like, he doesn't let anybody get out of rhythm with him. And by what I mean by that is, like, nobody's the aggressor towards him. He's the aggressor. He's the one setting the tempo, the pace, right? Which is pretty remarkable. And even though his style is so simple, oh, look at this guy. Look at this fucking bozo. Yeah, let me go fucking 40 miles a fucking hour. You fucking piece of 40 miles an hour on the interstate, you should get your fucking license revoked. So, that's how he wins a lot of his fights, and sometimes he gets a finish here and there, sometimes he doesn't. You know, he looked very good against Nassourdine Imavov, because Imavov is no slouch, very dynamic striker, good kicks, this and that, and he basically shut Nassourdine down, shut him down real good. He said, no, you're not going to do this kicking shit and moving around and being all that and this and fast. No, you're going to fight my fight, boxing range, jab, 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 little leg kicks here and there. That's what's going to happen. And that's what did happen, and he whooped his ass. So the way I see this fight, either Abus knocks him out, right? Like knocks him out early, which like kind of like Bejeda did, or Strickland puts that 5 round smackdown on him. Get down on it. Get down on it. Dun, dun, dun. Get down on it. Dun, dun, dun. Get down on it. Dun, 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 dun. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? Standing on the ground. Get you back up on the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't take a chance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Cause I heard all the people saying 5 round smackdown, dun, dun, dun. 5 round smackdown, dun, dun, dun. By the Strickland, dun, dun, dun. By Sean Strickland, dun, dun, dun. Can't believe I just did that, but it's the fucking Yabachaba'S show, baby. The most entertaining MMA show of all time, hands down. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Strickland by 5 round smackdown decision. Jab, jab, 1-2, jab, jab, 1-2. I find it very hard to think that this guy who just has his fucking first debut by a first round knockout in 2 minutes or some type of shit. It was a really quick knockout. He's just gonna, come in here and, put his dick in Sean Strickland's mouth? I don't think so. Okay? Right? It's not gonna happen. I just don't see it. He might have the confidence, which honestly might give him a benefit. The fact that he is so naive, like not really because he had an extensive career outside of the UFC, but I'm just saying, him being so naive, sort of, like, hey, I'm fucking, my debut, I fucking, one of these, he was fucking done, bro. So this dude, this fucking Strickland Propane dude, I'm gonna fucking beat this dude's ass. Now, he doesn't talk like that at all, but I can only imagine that's probably what he's thinking if he was an Italian mobster, right? So I could definitely see him thinking that. Like, I ran through that guy, I'm about to run through this guy like butter, right? And Strickland's just going to be Strickland. He's just always going to do the same type of shit. Really is. Still works. It works for him, right? I believe he beat Jared Cannonier that night, And we could have a totally different conversation right now about who's next for the title, this and that, right? If Strickland would have won that fight. So I'd give the edge to Sean Strickland. He's an animal, right? I just feel like he needs to watch out for that first round because I feel like Abus is really going to try to get him out of there in the first round to kind of duplicate what he did in his debut, which is nuts. Like I said, like, how do they give this guy a main event? Honestly, that's crazy. Like, dude, for you to only have your debut and then get a fucking main event afterwards is insane. Okay? So, I'm very excited to see what's going on with this cat. So, yeah. That about does that. Okay? Very, very excited. Nur Sultan Dr. Yagbay. He is very pain in my assholes. I don't know why I had to give you Borat, but that's what happens in the Yabachaba'S show. You just don't fucking know what's going to happen next. Okay? So I appreciate you guys. I'm actually about to be home soon. It's been a very, very long day. Very long day. Just one of those days where you get up and you got shit to do all day, and you barely have time to sit down because you want to get this done. I want to get this done. I want to make sure this doesn't wait for me tomorrow. Just one of those days. So I'm very, very pooped. I gotta go fix this goddamn fucking AC that decides to fucking crap out on me in 86 degree weather at 2 in the morning. Like, what is this? Why? Why right now? Why couldn't it be earlier today? Right? Why not? So that's how things usually happen. Anywho, I'm gonna be coming out with that reaction video after this weekend's fights. I'm excited. I'm so fucking happy that they're doing these fights every fucking Saturday. Gives my Saturdays purpose now. Usually Saturdays would go like this, alright? Without a UFC event. Wake up, I'd cry. Then I'd get something to eat, then I'd cry. Then I'd go to the bathroom and take a crap, then I'd cry. Then I'd wipe my ass, then I would cry again. I'd wash my hands, then cry. Okay. Then I'd eat again, and I'd cry, because there's no fucking fights. It ruins my life when there's no fights. You understand me? Just kidding. Anywho, I've rambled on long enough. Love you guys. Bye.